Stretching.
Got it.
Oh, that was a good stretch. Holy moly. I haven't had a stretch like that in a long time.
You got to get a good stretch every once in a while.
Wow. It's like I can feel like the blood just like and then come back down again.
Back in.
Great. Wow.
Oh, sorry. Oh, that was you talking again. Oh, hey, everyone. Justin here at LethbridgeRealEstate.com. Joel over there having a good stretch.
Oh, hi. Yeah. That was a good stretch.
Yeah. I wish you wouldn't start talking. I need to just like start and go live because Joel has better stories right at the beginning before we go live. Like he wanted to borrow an NES game, and I'm like, oh my god, I have a box of NES games. Definitely.
No, I don't want to borrow. I want to.
I told you.
I'll borrow yours, but
they've been in a box called Nintendo for a long, and I just take it from house to house to house to house, but it never gets opened. There's an old 1980s Japanese Game Boy that my uncle was in Japan. Cool. Yeah, it's like the original big, thick, gray, black and white one.
I had one of those.
Yeah. This one came from Japan, so it was very special. Or he could be lying to us and bought it at the airport. I don't know.
I think I paid, if I remember, I think I paid like $40 for my Game Boy I was still in Medicine Hat, so it probably would have been 87, 88, I think, maybe 88. I bought it off of my friend named Rob Panabaker. If you're watching, hi. I got a picture of him. He's not watching. But I remember I've been asthmatic for a while. And I had a little thing like this, and I kept my money inside. I took the thing out and I kept my $40 in there.
Smart. Yeah.
And I remember pulling up to like in front of Panabaker's house so I could purchase the Game Boy. I was so excited, and I was like playing with the money. It's like, oh, my money's in here, and I'm gonna have my Game Boy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The best Game Boy experience I can remember is when they introduced the Game Boy Tether, where you would link the two Game Boys together and you could play Tetris against your friend. And we would do it sitting on the bus on like football trips, and we just play Tetris against each other. And now I know how to pack a car for a trip because of those days. You just
That's right.
Put everything in Tetris. Anyway, I will look for my Nintendo games for you because I'm sure there's some good ones down there. Might even have a Game Genie down there. Might have it.
I don't know what that is.
You will have to Google it because it's amazing. A Game Genie? It's the extra cartridge that goes on your cartridge, and then that goes in and it gives you cheat codes.
Oh, yeah. No.
With a little strap on it that sits on the back. Oh,
yeah. So I'm just looking for Mario 1, Mario 3.
Got it.
Bubble Bobble.
Ooh, Bubble Bobble. That was a good game. Jay, I know Game Shows is just dying. Like he just wants to jump in on this. he was more into Nintendo games than I was, but
and I also want Paperboy.
Paperboy, that was such a good game. Oh
yeah,
man,
those are the only ones I actually have. Like, so I've been shopping online for games. They're not that bad. So I think I have like 5 games for $100 American. But I'm gonna go check out King of Trade. Buy locally if I can first before I press the order button. But
I like the Game Show host definitely unmuted for a second, but you interrupted him, so he went back.
Sorry.
I saw him unmute down there. All right, let's talk real estate. I have a couple of good stories for you. First, Canadian mortgage delinquencies are climbing, but the stress is overrated. So I'll get to this. Here's the number. So Canadian mortgage rates are climbing and maybe creating a little more stress for borrowers. True. I heard a really good presentation from a guy from Dominion Lending yesterday. And he was talking about, I should have stole his slide because I'll get it for next week. But he was essentially saying renters are way behind on their credit card payments and debt payments. Renters. Homeowners are totally caught up. Even though they're paying more interest, more ratios of debt, it's like the homeowners are being more responsible right now because they're like, I got to pay off my credit cards, I got to pay off my housing. Like they're not behind, but renters in the Canadian broad spectrum are behind in their credit, behind in rent, behind in delinquency. So very strange. But this one isn't about that. It says a mortgage is considered delinquent when you're Oh, that was a stupid. They put a joke in the article and it tossed me off here. Anyway, it's considered delinquent when it's at least 90 days past due, reaching a point where the lender can pursue remedy. So that's how they determine delinquency. Canadian mortgage delinquencies are rising, but they aren't that high. So I remember in the US, whenever the big bubble happened, the big short, and they were just throwing mortgages at people like they were going out of style. Canada has always been very conservative with that. Like we have CMHC, you have insurance policies, you have to qualify at harder rates. They used to even do zero down, but it was zero down, flex down, whatever it was, but it had like clawbacks initiated with it. Like there was things that you had to really qualify, right? And I remember you had to have good credit. Like I remember dealing with Sean Serafini at Dominion, and he'd be like, everyone was going to ask you about the 0% down. They have to have like a 680 or more just to even start the conversation, right? So whatever it was. So anyway, Canadian mortgages delinquencies are off to a record low, but remain very low in contrast to historical trends. So the national delinquency rate was 0.15% in Q2 of 2023. So really low, like 99.85% of people are caught up on their mortgages, which is a really good number. That's flat from the previous quarter. It's 0.01 points higher than the record low. So we are almost at record low numbers, which is really cool to see. But still nearly half of the now 22 delinquency rates are still in delinquency. So if you were behind in 2020, which was only 0.28%, you're still behind because it's just you're just not catching up.
Compounding.
Yeah. Look at this rate here. This is kind of cool. Canadian mortgage, these are the people that are, and look at this is the 0.3 chart and 0.8. So Canada overall is just hovering at 0.15. Montreal pretty low at like 0.9-ish, 10-ish. Vancouver, Toronto. So everyone's pretty low, which is it's nice to see.
It's not the major metropolitan areas, obviously, that's being affected because they're significantly less than the rest of Canada. So it's the more rural, smaller towns.
Yeah. And I wonder if they didn't really talk about it. Of course they don't, because it's not Toronto, Calgary, or Montreal.
That's right.
Right. In Vancouver, the delinquency rate has climbed to 0.09, just 1 point above the record low. So again, the record low was 0.08, 0.01. So it's a good sign, right, that people are being more responsible and tight, and that's a nice thing to see when you're in real estate, because it's like we're not really excited to see foreclosures, right?
No.
I mean, we run ads and say like, hey, we'll help you buy a foreclosure. There are like no foreclosures right now, which is
here's a secret for everybody who wants foreclosures and was like, oh, we need foreclosures. They're not the greatest of deals all the time. So and the reason why I actually had this conversation yesterday with a buyer, he's like, can we get on that foreclosure list? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. He's like, you guys do that for free? I'm like, yep, because it's a buzzword. People want foreclosures. They're not actually that great of deals most of the time. Yeah. So we get you in a drip campaign, and then when you realize that that foreclosures aren't the best, we take you and look at other houses too.
Yeah. And that's the real, but personally, I bought 2 foreclosures and one that was 7 days away from being in foreclosure. So like there are deals.
There are good deals, but I'd say there's just as many good deals that are non-foreclosures as long as you're on top of things. Yeah. Right. Like I've sold just as many houses, non-foreclosures, that I deemed good deals and my buyers did really, really well on, as I have with foreclosures. So
well, and I think foreclosures, we do a thing that's called build the file, and I tell my investors that a lot. If you want to build the file on a foreclosure, you annoy the person in charge of the foreclosure until they finally just beg you to take this stupid deal. So the P House is one of the better examples of that, and Coaldale actually both were the same. I wrote offers for months where the realtor's like, I'll present it, send it to them. Bank manager says like, go to hell. And then a month later, no one else has bought it. I send another offer and they say, go to hell. And then, by the 4th time, you actually send a lower offer. Cause I was at 100, 100, 100. And then I offered 90, and they're like, would you take 100? I was like, okay. Because eventually the bank manager, they have no stake in this stupid thing. No. They got an appraisal for 150 or whatever, which was probably a drive-by appraisal.
If it happened at all, because they don't even know where Coaldale is.
Yeah, they live in Toronto, and they're like 150,000. Like that's your down payment, or is that no? That's the whole place. Okay, so if you want to get in on foreclosures, cool. There's 5 in town right now, and 5. One says court. One other one says court. This one says court. This one is a court, and this one's court. Actually, there's no foreclosures on the market right now. There's 5 court order sales. Bench. And people are like, well, what's the difference? Well, court order could be a divorce, could be a business falling apart, could be you're behind on payments, could be you're a jerk. Like
could be you died.
Yeah, it's getting, your kids can't settle. You had no
Yeah.
will. There's so many
Yeah.
reasons it could be court. It's usually a foreclosure, but you never know, right?
But the court is the difference is the bank in a bank foreclosure, the bank is trying to recoup their money.
Right.
In a court foreclosure, I mean the court's trying to do it for you, but the court
Yeah.
is forcing, and they don't really care. I mean, their client is the person that wants the money, and they're just going to force it. And it's the Wild West. I've had banks, or I've had judges accept the highest and not let it go to a second round. I've had judges disclose my offer to other people and saying you have to beat it. I've had judges say we're going to go 2 rounds and they've gone 4. It's the Wild West. The judge will do whatever they want and basically sell it to who they want.
As long as they get a recommendation from the lawyer on the file saying I'm good with that number, they'll send it to court, and they'll put it on the docket. And if you ever have to sit on a Zoom call, it's the most depressing thing, because it's essentially usually family court first. And it goes family court, family court, family court, and then they figure out foreclosures at the end. And you have to sit there the whole time, or else you're not allowed back in. And you have to listen to some pretty wild crap on a Zoom call. So
I bet.
Yeah, don't do it. It's not fun. So anyway, good news. I'm happy to see that, delinquencies are really low. I'm going to see if he'll send me that slideshow for next week as well.
I still think, though, I mean, getting back to foreclosures, I mean, this is just a gut and my logic's telling me, but I mean, there's still probably a glut of files from 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, not 2023. Anyway, from COVID, catching up with that, because banks, institutions weren't really forcing anything on delinquent payments. So there's probably a glut of that happening. Plus, interest rates rising, people renewing interest rates. There's probably going to be some either fire sales or an increase of foreclosures happening in the next 6 months or so, I would guess.
Maybe, yeah. With showing the rates that they're only 90 days behind is very, very low. It's not going to be a ton, though. Even if it is, it would have to be at a percentage point, which is not going to get to, which is good.
I mean, I guess it's also important to remember that nobody wants to foreclose.
No, the bank doesn't want you to. The lawyers
bank will give you as many opportunities as long as you are talking, probably.
As long as you're backed them. So I have a solution if you're going to get foreclosed on. Ohio man bulldozes his home to avoid foreclosure. This is an old story, but I thought
that the definition of cutting your nose off to spite your face.
Yeah, an Ohio man says he bulldozed his $350,000 home to keep the bank from foreclosing on it. Terry Hoskins has struggled with the River Hills Bank over his home in Moscow, Ohio for years, and has problems with the IRS. He says the IRS placed liens on his carpet store and his commercial property, and the bank claimed the house as collateral. Hoskins says he owes $160 on the house. He says he spent a lot of money on attorneys and finally had enough. About 2 weeks ago, this is way back when, he bulldozed the home. I read another article where his wife went out for something, and then she didn't know he was gonna do this, and he just bulldozed it, like with stuff in it and everything. So that's a mental breakdown, right? Like that's not.
Yeah, I don't know if he really thought that.
You didn't get him. Yeah,
it's not like the bank and the IRS is going to be like, all right, well,
doesn't know it's money anymore.
Yeah, I guess not. No, you still owe money and you have nothing.
The worst thing is if you would understand the process. Let's say you owed $160 on the house and you owe the IRS $100 and it's worth $350. You could sell it for $350 and pay everything off and have some money. Let's say you owe the IRS every penny. You could still sell it and then you're free. You can go do your own thing, right? And even if you owed the IRS $400,000, you sell it for $350. Okay, you still owe them something, right? Also pay your taxes. So anyway, that's the best spite story I've seen in a long time.
Yeah,
good for him. Yeah. Other news: have you heard about the LA City Council approving the mansion tax?
No.
Oh my goodness. Well, of course you can't. You gotta tax everything, right?
But I'm interested in this. I mean, so far I like the sound of it.
There's no way you like the sound of taxing people for no other reason. No other reason. They paid more taxes just buying that house than anyone else, and you're going to re-tax them on the way out. That's like buying a burger, paying your GST, eating it, and then they tax you on the way out for eating it.
Oh no! I see. So I thought this would have just been like a higher property tax. No,
sorry.
Oh, okay.
No. So Los Angeles has, I'm going to skip down to the percentages here. Essentially, dubbed the mansion tax measures in the city took effect April 1st, bringing a 4%. What is happening here? Stop. 4% charge on all residential and commercial real estate sales in the city above 5 million and 5.5% charge on sales above 10 million. So if you have a $10 million house and you sell it, you just owe them 5.5% for no reason, just because you paid way more property taxes, you paid way more to build it, you paid way more to live there. Sorry, you owe us another 5.5.
My question, where does this money go?
Well, that's a great question. It's supposed to help homeless, but that's what they have it bookend for. But no one can see where it's going. They're just like, no, you just pay the 5.5. So a lot of mansions in LA, if we actually did a game show maybe on this, we found some that were, let's say, for sale in January, February. They are just cutting their prices as fast as they could before this came into effect it was like August. So it's pretty much past the deadline now. People were dropping their prices $10 million. I saw one guy was offering a free sports car with his house if you bought it before the deadline, because 5.5% of 36 million, whatever that is, let's go times 0.055. So that's 1.98 million. So you could essentially give them $1 million car and still be ahead of the deal, right? So it says Los Angeles City Council passed $150 million spending plan for funds raised by the measure, marking the first time funds to be allocated to, it doesn't say, the expenditure plan will be directed at 6 programs. Here we go. Short-term emergency rental assistance, eviction defense, tenant outreach and education, direct cash assistance for low-income seniors and people with disabilities, tenant protections, and affordable housing production. So that's what they're saying, that the mansion tax is going to go to stop people from being evicted or something. This is the largest source of revenue that's going to be consistent that the city has access to for these uses ever. Who is writing this stuff? The new council member, Nitha Raman. It's really transformative for Los Angeles. Of the 150 million, 23 million will go toward eviction defense, 23 million towards income support for rent burden seniors, and 18.4 will go towards rent debt assistance. So those are the people we were just talking about that are mostly in foreclosure. Dubbed the mansion tax. Since April, the tax has raised roughly $55 million already. So a lot of celebrities are just like out of here. Like LA is amazing at driving out their top producers. They're just like, get out. Everyone that makes money, we don't want you here. I mean, we want your money. And they're trying to run another tax to say, if you leave LA, we're still going to tax you going into the future. Like that's ever going to hold up, right? So
I don't I like the thought process. I don't like the execution, and I disagree on the surface of where the money is being spent.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be, just from the surface without really knowing any of the issues, but couldn't you just take that money and put it into low cost housing, and that would solve the problems? Why do we need eviction defense exactly?
Literally the next quote is
23 million of it to eviction defense.
Yeah.
Like, if these people are doing something to get evicted, why are we defending it?
Right. Well, here's what they say. And I grant that you don't know every situation, but I'm fairly confident no one's evicting people who are paying rent.
That's right.
Just
and not destroying places and all of that, right? Like, if you're a good tenant, you're not getting evicted.
No one's evicting you. No, it's you're being evicted and you're ending up in court only in the worst situations. You are not paying, you are destroying it. We asked you to leave nicely. That's the only time it ends there.
Yeah. So why are we defending it?
Here comes one of the civic engagement organizers. I am excited that tenants will also have an opportunity to be legally represented in courts, and that landlords will not be the only ones with an attorney during the eviction, said civic engineer organizer with Trust South, because housing is a human right. Like, they're just saying words, but they just throw out slogans, but you're like, no, you should have defense, but also you should pay for your own defense. If you're like, I've been wronged by this landlord, pay for your own defense.
Sure, have counsel available to those who need it and can't afford it. Fine. That's fine too. But again, why are we defending the indefensible? And I mean, $23 million, that shouldn't cost 23 million.
Yeah.
We should just be diverting that money to low income housing, and
Right.
that should solve the problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They're estimating
if-
that it would
yeah.
raise about $900 million per year. But I think they're forgetting eventually people will just stop buying those houses and stop selling those houses. And your tax is going to go like this.
Yeah,
Why not?
I mean,
Why
the
not?
unintended consequences of this are, I mean, it could go many ways.
Yeah. Look at this. Once the tax took effect, LA's luxury market froze. Only 2 homes sold for more than 5 million in the month of April, and the market hasn't quite recovered since. So people are just like, nope, sorry, hard pass. Like your tax is not happening. As a result, they projected 150 million from the measurement, but they've only got 55 million marked for it so far. So they're way behind on their measure. Why not just eliminate the red tape? LA has the most red tape in the world. I was talking to someone in town here. They ship stuff to LA, and the red tape is like half the cost, because you got to add this and you got to do this and you got to do that and you got to do that. And you have to over engineer like crazy because of the red tape. If you cut out the red tape, developers would develop there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're charging them $500,000 for permits, they're not going to go out and develop, right? That's just, yeah. So instead of stealing people's money and then obviously not doing anything with it, why not just delete that? Because then you're fine. But they need the revenue, because their city budget was $13.1 billion. That's their budget. So
well,
they're
I
a
mean,
country.
they have,
I know,
yeah,
they're a
like
country,
Los Angeles has a GDP larger than like India, which isn't true. It's obvious hyperbole. Don't write a comment. Yeah, it's crazy. But I mean, like, eliminating red tape is something that needs to happen. We talk about this I'm not even going to get into it.
Yeah.
Play the clip from the last show.
Yeah. Well, and the nice thing is, at the moment, the measure must overcome 2 major hurdles: an ongoing court case that is arguing it's unconstitutional to tax someone on money they've already been taxed on, and a state ballot measure that Californians will vote on next year. Barely begun, the court case has already seen its fair share of drama. Superior Court Judge Barbara Shepper recently became the 3rd judge presiding over the case. The previous judge, Joseph Lipner, recused himself after one of the plaintiff's attorneys complained that he had a conflict of interest because he had previously worked at a law firm that represents California. Like, it's all the nonprofit organization for housing. So many things going on there. And by the way, LA Times, you're so annoying. This is about a measure about stealing people. Okay, let's do a vote here. If you're going to write an article about how a group is suing to block LA's new housing tax, which is $1 million housing tax on $5 million houses, what would your head photo be? What would your first photo be on the article?
I don't know, actually.
I think like a mansion, maybe like a skyline of LA and their mansions.
Oh yeah, that could work.
Because you're suing about $5 to $10 million houses, right? Yeah, that's what I would put on there. Oh, just kidding, a homeless encampment. Like, you're not proving your case. Oh, a lawsuit has been filed to block the proceeds from addressing homelessness is what they're saying. But really, it's a tax on rich people, and they put it as love wins. News is really hard to read news these days. It makes me want to punch something, but it's okay. Yeah. So anyway, we'll see how that lawsuit goes. But a lot of celebrities, a lot of real estate celebrities, like those Josh Altmans and whatever, they've just left LA now. Even though that's
Josh Altman's gone?
Yeah, he moved to a place. I don't know all the words down there, but they're like, okay. See ya.
He was just on a podcast.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see how that plays out. I mean, it's one of those things, like the government just keeps digging into people and they try to tax you and tax you and tax you. And then those guys just leave. Like, why do you think all the billionaires are leaving LA? They used to like living there. And now they're like, oh, just exit stage left. And it's going to hurt. And which sucks because LA is a really pretty place. Like, the weather's great. If you rewind time 60 years, it's a
certain
pretty
areas of LA are really nice.
It's very nice. Should we do our own market update? See what's going on out here?
Sure,
Why not? It's dreary. I talked to someone the other day. They're like, we're getting like 5 new listings a week or a day. And I was like,
well, yeah, but that's just within the last like 6 days, though. Like,
yeah.
This past long weekend, I pulled up like the stats on Monday night or something like that.
Yeah.
And I do for 3 days. and I look at the new listings and it was like 6. I was like,
Yeah.
something's wrong. So I like log out, log back in, refresh, do it again. 6. I'm like, how is there only 6 new listings in
Yeah.
3 days?
If I look at the last 24 hours, it's 5. 3 day, it's 17. So
Yeah. But over the long weekend, it was 6.
Everyone was enjoying turkey,
I guess.
I think. New listings on the market, 30 for the whole week, 7 days. That is not a lot. Whoa, that's oh no, 400. Sorry.
But it's odd. Like it's like this looks wrong to me.
Why is that?
I don't know. It just looks wrong.
170, 180, 210, 2. So there's actually a bunch in the 200 to 300 range, which is kind of nice. 300 to 400 range is kind of nice. And then, yeah, just a couple over 400. Hey, our friend Andrew should look at this one. 419. Oh, that's a nice looking house. There you go. We have a guy looking for a house in Heritage. 30, that's pretty low. 36 sold. So that's even worse because now there's less inventory. 324 average. Owned the high was only 559.
Interesting.
Good negotiation, 579, 20 grand off, right? Someone's off here. How is there 144? Did this one listed for 99 go for 119? Now we must find out.
Oh yeah, no, that one that went for 99 sold for 140. I thought
it was
that
listed for
foreclosure?
99. How? What?
Yeah. Well, that's that
Oh
one.
my
Look at it. Yeah.
gosh. So you want to talk about deals on foreclosures? This house is
This is 140 is too much for this, I think.
I thought 40 was a good deal. 50.
Well,
I would have paid 50. I went in this house. I was going to buy it without telling my wife, and I was thinking 50 when I left there. No joke. It is that bad.
I thought there was a little bit of potential in there, but I mean,
It's 600 square feet.
yeah, well, yeah, but I mean,
You can't knock it down because it's on a small lot. I mean,
Yeah.
you can knock it down. You just can't
could,
build.
but you can't build a big one.
Wow.
I thought max on this might, like, if you had the right person getting away with it doing like, and had like, I thought maybe 115 on this would have been max. And that's like contractor buying it, doing the work themselves, and having, you know, access to some decent deals on stuff. But to me, this doesn't make any sense at all.
Opportunity knocks. There's no chance this makes any money.
Good luck to who bought it. I'd love to see what you do with it.
Okay, we're gonna do a CMA online right now. Here we go. Sorry, you brought this upon yourself, people. Where did it go? Come back here. I swear I did something, but it didn't work. Click. So we're gonna go north side because that's where it is. We're gonna go.
Even go 750 square feet.
That's
Go
what I was
bigger.
thinking. 750 or under. Okay. I got it sold in last. I'm gonna go 666 because that's what that house would feel like. And detached houses. There's 42. It has no
That's a
garage.
nice sample.
No garage. Okay, we're down to 19. All right.
It's a little small, but
Oh, that's a good sample size. 19.
Yeah. I like in the 20s.
Okay, it's darn close to 20. Here's one that's currently for sale. 683. It's been on for 180 days at 159. Let's see how it looks. Decent. Why would you buy this instead?
Well, yeah, I guess it's pretty much the same price.
It's the same place. Wait, is there no basement in this one? Let's see. Zoom enhance. There's the basement, same dang basement. No, it's not developed, but you can do some things there. Okay, that's one. Here's one on 12 C Street North, 530 square foot, so it's smaller. This one needs some work, but it's 1 to 60. Okay, basement. Okay, not so good. This one's 279. All right, here's your comp. Here's the most you can sell for. So you do it. Do you think you can get 279 for this 680 square footer?
No.
Time will tell. Why would you do all this and not just do this? It's like $400.
Yeah.
Is that carpet in there too?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think this was carpet in the bathroom?
No.
That's carpet.
Oh,
No?
it might be.
I don't know. There's lots of carpet. Okay. So these are the actives. And then we got some solds, 75,000. Oh, I think we sold this one. Yeah, we did. This is an old Atco gas shed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's okay. That's 75 grand. This one was 84 grand, smaller. Okay, fine. 85 grand, bigger. And also, so this is what I'm saying. Like 85 would have been pretty much what I'd be comfortable with as well.
Yeah, I think there was a
90
frenzy
grand.
on that one. I
It
like, I
definitely
got a
was.
bunch of
Let's do this
calls. I
one.
had a bunch of calls from people that are like, I need to go in and get and see this like right now. I'm like, there's 7 offers.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, I didn't know there would be that interest. I'm like, well, yeah, of course, because
Look at this
people
one. This is
need
cute. This one's decent for 98. Anyway, that's that's not my money, but
no.
I would be remiss as a realtor to spend that money for another agent or for another client. I mean, anyway, not my choice. 36 pending, 403 average. Yowzas. 52 days on market. Oh, what was the sold days on market? I forgot to look. 76. Oh, high. So yeah, lots of pending, lots of sold, not enough actives. Let's see what we're at for the month here. What day is it today? The 12th. Oh my gosh. How's it the 12th? Halloween is like just around the corner. 56 sales so far. Let's check your number, Joel. Joel, 147 under. You took the under. You might be okay. I thought at the beginning you're screwed here.
Well, the beginning of the month was
Yeah.
holy, I'm hungry. Oh wow.
It just hit you? Hunger pain?
Yeah, I'm gonna sneeze.
So stupid. He's so hungry he has to sneeze. No one's ever said those words in a row ever. Never. Oh, I'm glad I just wanted to get that shot of him doing that. 71 pending right now, average of 414, 63 days on the market. 56 sold for the whole month, 319 average. Huge difference there. Maybe that's property ladder people. They sold their houses for 320, they're buying for 420s. Overall average, yeah, there's a $1.1 million one that has an offer on it right now, so that's good. A lot of lower end stuff I saw was kind of getting offers on it, 102s to 200, so that's kind of good. So yeah, I mean, overall, I think, let me go back to the stats. Historic sales. They got rid of the thing.
Huh?
What's wrong with everyone? Why do they always play with Matrix and then they ruin it and then they go, we made it better. Now I have to do hard work. I want historic sales. Idiots. All right, I have to customize my own, so I'm not going to do it. But I think we're on pace for about a normal October. We're a little bit ahead of schedule on October.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Let's see here. What am I looking for? Sales number of sales. Sure, number of sales. Group by month. Stupid jerks. Why would they delete like a good way to do it? They must have been watching and they're like, oh, this makes Justin's life easier. We're going to change this and think I can't find it. I'm going to find the data. Don't think I can't find it. Anyone out there telling you some funny numbers? I can tell you what the real numbers are. So 133. Oh, you can't see. I'm just talking to myself here.
No.
133 was last year, 190, and 130. So 130s is a normal October, 100, 130, 140, whatever, right? So we're at 127 all in with pending and sold right now. So if we end up above that, we'll be good. I still think my Vegas number of 147 is a good number. I think I've been setting lines like an absolute monster, and you're just hitting.
Oh, and I'm just getting lucky.
You're lucky 7 or whatever it is. You're doing great. Yeah. I actually don't know how that game works where you roll the dice. I don't understand it one bit. Not one bit.
I don't know craps. Yeah, I don't know either. I was at Circus. I hate Circus. Anyway, I was at Circus and I was like, oh, I should learn how to play craps. And the guy's like, sure, yeah, absolutely. So I put like $100 down. He's like, okay, you got to do this, that, and then like literally 3 rolls. He's like, okay, and you're done. I'm like,
more money?
I didn't learn anything. He's like, yep, no, you need more money. I was like, I'm gonna go over here. Like the worst. And then
you have some toilets that I can just put my money in as well, and just
I went over there. I went over to play roulette, and I was like, I had like $10 left, and I'm like, okay, so I put like $5 on red, $5 on black. You're gonna win. It's just no like.
You're actually playing like mathematically. You're gonna lose.
Oh yeah, I did. Came up 0. I was like, oh, okay, well there it goes. I felt like that scene in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation when they lose. they go to like oh, it was Vegas Vacation, sorry, and they go to the one and it was like pick a number between 1 and 10. It's like 7. Nope, sorry, you lost.
That's Vegas in a nutshell. Anyway, that's our market update. It had nothing to do with Vegas, but I don't know that game. I see like pops up on my feed every once in a while. People playing craps and they yell. They don't know what
Yeah.
they're doing.
It looks like a lot of fun, but
Yeah. I know like 14, 15 people will be playing it and screaming and yelling. And I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I'll stick to poker. Thank you. Oh yeah, that's it for the market update. Nothing special. Just very boring. If you want to list your house, please, for the love of God, list your house. I don't care. You don't have to do it with me. You can do it with Joel or me. I don't care. You can even call a game shows. I don't care. He'll send it to me. But someone list your house. Actually, I got a couple brand new builds coming up right away, which is kind of nice. Really nice, brand new, like high-end house. And then a really nice one in Colehurst that same high-end finishings, but just gonna be a lower price because it's Colehurst. So
nice.
You know, someone looking for a big bi-level 14-foot ceilings. They used LVLs as studs. That's how big it is. LVLs as studs. That's how expensive that house is. I mean, how expensively built it is. Yeah, very challenging for the framers. They had to build an amazing window to show the chandelier because the entrance is so grand. So there you go.
Wow.
Come to be determined. And if you want to get in on it, let me know. Should we do the game show?
Yeah, sure.
All right, sure. We are going to Arlington, Texas, which is that where Hank Hill,
King of the Hill?
Yeah.
No, that's
Propane and
the
propane
fictional city of
accessories.
Arlen.
Arlen.
Oh,
He's in Arlen. I knew that. Okay.
Same thing.
I say this a lot. I like Texas. I went there. We visited my wife's grandma there. They lived in a mobile home park, which is like gated, which had shuffleboard and pool tables. It was like a really cool place. I went to play pool. I was younger. I don't know. It was 14, 13 years ago, before kids. So 14 years ago. So I was like 25 and I was playing pool. I'm a pretty good pool player. And this old guy walks by and like literally he's like walking, stops, sees me, goes like this, walks away, walks back into the room, gets his pool cue off the wall and takes it home with him. Like I broke into a mobile home park, jumped the gate, started playing pool, and I was going to steal his specific crappy cue on the wall. Golly, old people, use your brains. Anyway, let's go to Texas. Why Texas, by the by?
I'm still on my baseball kick right now. And when I was doing this yesterday, the night before, the Texas Rangers had eliminated the Minnesota Twins to move on to, or not the Minnesota Twins. They eliminated somebody to move on to the next round. And it'll be an all Texas League Championship Series. If you want to go to Texas right now, Justin, it should be fun.
I would love to go to Texas.
It's Houston versus Texas for the League Championship.
Look at flights after this.
They're going to be very expensive now. So
forget it. Let's look at this one. I don't know which one this is. I can't see the address anymore.
This is 5901 Bay Club Drive in Arlington, Texas. It is a 7-bedroom, 4.5 bathroom, 7,459 square foot home sitting on 1.54 acres. This is nestled right on Lake Arlington. This exquisite waterfront state offers an unparalleled blend of opulence and natural beauty. Set on a sprawling landscape within an exclusive gated community, this property is a sanctuary of sophistication and relaxation. With a gourmet kitchen, lavish master suite, custom craftsmanship throughout, this estate encapsulates the pinnacle of lakeside luxury living. Boasts a game room, a sparkling pool with spa, a private guest room with an ensuite bathroom, a balcony for picturesque views, a boat dock, and a grassy peninsula with breathtaking views of the lake. The gated community itself features tennis courts and a community boat ramp, adding to the convenience and recreation options. With its unparalleled blend of elegance, tranquility, and modern convenience, this waterfront sanctuary redefines luxury living on Lake Arlington.
Okay, this guy with his alliteration can take a hike. How much alliteration was in that stupid write-up? I was so distracted by it.
It was hard to read it because of it.
Oh, we get it. You're smarter than everyone. This house could use for some staging. Hey,
This house could use a bomb. Yeah.
I was going to say, if you just when I was looking through the photos of Arlington, if you're aspiring real estate photographer, move to Arlington because they need your help.
Yeah, nice. I
Nice
like
property. Holy.
I like the phallic land. Like this is my land. You
I
ridiculous humans. It's such a cool
I
property.
love the property.
Yeah, look at this tennis courts over there. Probably pickleball by now. Who builds this? This is
The people who built this house thought they were obviously in the early 90s.
Swinging
thought they
dicks.
were pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And they still do, I think.
You guys are really good at guessing years, by the way. It's 1992.
Oh, you can just tell by the bird wallpaper.
Yeah, well, in the tile. I'm like, oh yeah, that's 92.
Yeah. Oh, carpet. Yeah. When he said
The kitchen,
opulence,
yeah, it's all, yeah.
oh, look at this wallpaper. This needs a reno. And I hate going first on places we have no clue on. It's 7,000 square foot. They think it's amazing, but they only built it for like 1 back in 92, right? Like they maybe they built it for
Probably
8.
less.
Yeah, probably less. So they're like, did we double our money? And the realtor's like, oh yeah, you definitely doubled your money. So it could be 1.5 million, and this is a smoking deal, and we should move there because I'd live here. I don't care. I could room by room this one. But I think they're gonna want more, but I don't think it's a lot more. But it's on the water, and Texas is kind of popular right now. So I'm just gonna go 3x what I think they bought it for, 2.4 million.
I think you've guessed well. But I think it's less. I think they're asking 1.87 for this.
That is insanely close guess, Joel. They want 1.9 for this one.
Wow.
Wow. That's a good deal.
For the land, yeah, I agree. But I mean, it needs $1 million in renovations.
I would buy 2 pontoon circular boats and just put them here. Because I'm a child like that.
It's
Okay.
nice property. Wow.
That's nice property. I'm happy for you. I overpaid. I got a little bit too deep with my Texas love. Why are these photos so small?
This is another early 90s one.
Yeah, this is cute.
This one is 5100 Oak Lane in Arlington, a 5-bedroom, 4.5 bathroom, 5,908 square foot home sitting on 1.18 acres. This stunning home offers the perfect blend of modern luxury and classic charm. The grand entry has a curved staircase and high ceilings. The gourmet kitchen with stainless steel appliances, gas stove, built-in refrigerator, and lots of counter space and storage is perfect for any chef. Relaxing and inviting living areas that overlook the pool with its own fountain, outdoor fire pit, and outdoor kitchen. Situated on 1.18 acres with room to roam and play around in the manicured gardens. There's a luxurious master suite with fireplace and round tub. The home office is perfect for the professionals that like to work from home. There's a media room and a game room upstairs, and it's been recently remodeled, including carpet, paint, lighting, and new fixtures. The neighborhood includes fishing ponds, fountains, walking trails, canoeing, paddle boats, and lots of nature for everybody. It provides a serene retreat for relaxation and entertainment.
I'm going to say 1998.
You think 98? I think it's a little earlier than that, but it's probably close. Yeah.
What do you say, Joel? Mini game show.
I said 92, but it looks like 94.
Oh, it's 94.
Oh, they must have had a remod because their fridge is the same fridge that I just threw out the door.
Yeah, they did have they mentioned a reno.
But did they reno 5 years after building it? Or
Well,
6 years after building it?
I think what happened is, so I'm going to start because I get to go first. So these people have renovated some of this house. Oh wow,
Right.
look at that roof line.
That's pretty cool.
That's nuts. So they've renovated part of it. The fact that they didn't renovate all of it leads me to believe that these people have an idea of how much it's going to cost to actually make this house worth something. So I think they're going to be a little bit more realistic in their pricing because of that. I think these people are asking 1.47 million.
Oh my God. I have 1.4 in my brain. That's such a good number. The last one was 1.9. Do these people think their house is worth more than that house? I think they do because it's had a reno. And there's that fridge. See, there it is right there. Golly, that's a great number. 1.5.
1.5 is a little bit closer because it's 1.65 for this one.
Wow. Okay.
Thought you were a little low.
Good.
Yeah.
I thought these people were a little bit more realistic, but
no, they're obviously not. But also, like, that's a big house for 1.5
it's a huge
million.
house.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
So value-wise, similar to Lethbridge, same thing. Like
Probably.
Arlington, Texas.
I mean, this house reminded me of Dave's house.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, in some updates, some original. Yeah, probably. I mean, in Dave's house at 1.5 overlooking the city.
Yeah.
Sure.
The average Arlington home value is $316,000. There's 404,000 people that live there. So it's a big Lethbridge. Yeah. It's 4x.
404. Yeah. Jeez,
Yeah.
that's
The prices are low. The average is 316. So pretty cool.
they don't have basements.
They do not have basements. You're right. Yeah. I don't know why.
Cheaper to build.
Yeah. I was watching a
They
funny.
don't need basements. They
Yeah.
don't have to. Because their ground doesn't freeze.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Thanks, Game Shows. I was watching
Yeah,
a
thank
cool thing where this guy's building a tunnel in his house in UK, and it's like the whole adventure of him building a tunnel. And I was like, it's just a basement. He's just building a basement that's rounded. Like
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I've never heard of this crazy tunnel. It's a basement. Like he's not doing anything amazing. I have a tunnel in my basement. It's probably bigger than his. So anyway, Game Show's just left. I said,
He's
thanks.
just gone. Yeah,
No, don't care.
he's got work to do.
Out the door. I have something very serious I want to talk about. Also, 1-1, sorry. 52-29. Excuse me. Something very serious I want to talk about. Other agents. Can't bash anything. This has not happened to me, so I have no skin in the game, but I want to tell you a good story. All right. A person I know representing a buyer, okay, they write an offer and the offer is accepted. There are no cross-offs on that contract, right? No cross-offs.
Accepted as is.
No, like prices and whatever, that's accepted.
Okay.
But no terms that are pre-written have been crossed off. During inspection time, buying agent goes, hey, the permits for the basement get done? Nope, they didn't get done. Oh, well, are they getting them done? Well, they weren't planning on it. Ooh. Well, you definitely signed off on it that the permits were done. Like that's in the, it's like 6.1 G. It says like the permits are all, they comply. And it's
because they ask, are there any lack of permits for any work completed? It's one of the 6 questions that you ask that you answer when you list your property.
Yeah. Well, even on the purchase contract,
that too.
It's in the term saying like you agree that they're done. So even though they weren't planning on it, you got to get those done. Now that could be $500. That could be $5,000 because they might go, no, that's not up to electrical code. Boom, rewire those, get that in there. Smoke alarms need to talk to upstairs. You got to run a wire there.
Yeah. If it was all done properly, it's just a matter of getting the inspector out and paying a small fine for not.
Yeah, they double your permit fee essentially. That's the fine. So okay, newer agent listing a place probably has no idea. So that's going to cost them. And that could, like I say, that could cost them $5,000. I don't know what his commission is. Could be $5,000. Could be gone. RPR, he goes, oh, and hey, just so you know, the RPR is not up to date either. Oh, well, that's going to cost you about $900 now. So there is a huge, you told your seller as the agent to sign this contract and you didn't have permits and you knew it. So you can't say you didn't know it because you said, oh yeah, no, they didn't do it. And they're not going to do anything about it. That means you knew about it. And B, you didn't sign off on changing the RPR to accept the RPR and blah, blah, blah. So now they're saying weeks later, would you accept title insurance? No, I would accept a brand new RPR though. Thank you for that. You can call Brown Okamura today and order it, or Martin Geomatic, and just go ahead and order it. Yeah. So it's funny because it's like, I'm not trying to bash anyone, but you have to know a lot of things to sell a house.
Yeah.
And you just have to know them. And you can't get lucky, right? No. He could have maybe sold a few other homes. He's pretty new and got lucky, right? Like, yeah, they did have permits and yeah, they did have good RPR. But on this one, it's going to cost this realtor probably $5,000. I can almost guarantee it. Like they're just going to wipe their whole commission or more out of their pocket. So
yeah,
you gotta hire professionals. Sorry, I'm not saying he's a professional or they, but that's pretty unprofessional, right? Because how about this? It's unprofessional currently because your fiduciary duties weren't done. Therefore, your seller's on the hook for a lot of money that they agree to with your advice.
I wouldn't necessarily agree with you in this sense that it is unprofessional now. It's borderline unprofessional. I think what will set it over is how he handles it.
Oh, that's what I mean. Sorry, that's what I meant. I said it's currently unprofessional.
Yeah.
And when he cuts his own money, it was a doofus move.
That's right. And he'll hopefully learn from it. Right. But that's a professional move of like, hey, I screwed up. I'm taking responsibility for this. I'm going to look after it. Don't worry about it. That's professional to me.
Right.
What's unprofessional is if he's like, clients, sorry, you pay for it, right? Like that
Right.
would be unprofessional. But,
And that would never happen. Like
I mean, we have one job. Our job is to look after our clients.
right.
That's
Protect them from that kind of crap.
That's
So
it.
yeah, I had actually thinking about doing something along the lines like, we'll talk about that off air because it's a good idea. I don't want anyone watching. There's people watching. I'm not gonna tell you my cool idea, but I have a neat idea because no one's doing this. But yeah, anyway, if you're selling your house out there, it's a little more difficult than just putting a for sale sign up and hoping someone buys it. Like there's so many more steps that go along the way. And when they get missed, it's going to cost someone money, right? Now, I don't blame the sellers. They don't know any better. You're just like, hey, just sign here. Probably did it on online signing, like didn't even think about it. But yeah, the agent that's telling me the story is just like, we don't care. We're getting ourselves permits because that's what the contract says. So yeah, but I'm interested to see how that agent handles it because they were shrugging their shoulders like, nope, they're not going to do that. It's like, oh, yes, they are.
Oh yeah, they will.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they just have never read the contract.
Yep, it's
I mean,
5 pages. It's 5 pages. It's impossible to read.
The listing contract, it says ask these questions. Like you should be asking, and that is one of the 6 questions.
Yeah.
Are you aware of any permits completed or any work completed on the property without permits?
Right.
Yes or no?
Right.
It's right after, are you a Canadian citizen? Or right before.
Somewhere in there. Yeah.
There were 6 questions.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Did you just not ask?
Yeah. Yeah, there's 4 questions. There's only
Is it
4.
4?
Yeah, four yeses or nos.
Oh, I
And-
thought there were 6.
Yeah, it's like
Anyway.
one, like, are you being evicted by the government? Are you aware of any material latent defects?
Yeah.
Have you pulled up? Anyway, so it's like, yeah, it's
And
crazy.
that's a 1-pager, not even a 5-pager, like the purchase
know.
contract.
I know.
Like,
Yeah. It's not this like massive book you have to read and understand. It's 5 pages to like read and understand every term in there. And even I was dealing with this with 2 professionals the other day where waivers were not sent, non-waivers nor waivers were sent. 9 p.m. happened. What is that, Joel? That's just the end of the contract.
it's a dead deal.
The deal's dead. Do you have to send non-waivers after the deal's dead? No, the contract already contemplates it. It says,
I mean, you can if you want to just
Well,
put
why
a
would you?
little bow on it, but yeah, you don't
Sure.
need to.
you can do whatever you want. You can send them a gift card if you want. You don't have to do anything. Like it's just, it says at 9 o'clock, this deal is over, deposits are returned, and they're like talking like, we're not going to give them the deposit back. Yeah, you are. Read the words. It's anyway, blah, enough of that. Bad
It's
way to
because
end it.
people don't realize that words have meaning. People
Yeah.
think that they read words and they can ascribe meaning to those words that they deem fit, but that's not how the world works. The world works that words have meaning and you follow them.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's no black and white. It is black and white. There's no gray whatsoever. And I don't care what your interpretation is. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have so many stories like this where it's just like, I want to shake people. And by the way, the contract is between the buyer and the seller, and you're not involved. And any internal promises you made or internal promises they made, that's not in the contract. It says specifically on the contract, anything outside of this contract is not part of this contract. It says it on the contract, and you have to initial that part specifically.
Yeah.
So why are you calling me going, well, they promised they would do it? Okay, well, whoops, I'm not doing it. Right? What are you going to sue me? I didn't write it down. Oh, it makes me. Anyway. So
and what's sad about this whole conversation is that these exact conversations happen. Well, those, I shouldn't say not these, those exact conversations of like educating people about what the contract says happens not only with brand new agents that just got their license 6 months ago, but it happens with seasoned agents that got licensed 25 years ago. And you're like, how do you not know what a term is?
If I have to hear the word addendum or amendment said the wrong way,
Interchanged.
I'm going to punch someone in the face.
Yeah, it's like you got your license in 1983 and you don't know the difference between those two.
Yeah.
Come on.
I know sometimes it's hard to say words. We got to pretend like, make it till you make it.
Yeah,
That's
if you're
the way
still
it is.
faking it to make it in real estate after 15, 20 years as a career, think about doing something else.
Get out. Yeah. Anyway, weird note to go out on, but it was driving me mental. That it made me laugh actually, because for our clients, they're totally protected. Like we did our job. And of course, we're not going to go out of our way to sign contracts to hurt our clients. So that person
No.
didn't catch it. That is a them problem now. So anyway, if you have any questions about how to actually sell a house, visit us online at viewlethbridge.com. Lots of information there. And Joel, popcorn, where can they get some good popcorn these days?
Where can they? Lots of places.
Craftcorn.ca. Craftcorn.ca is your place.
Sure, yeah. Cuppers, Urban Grocer, Decor out the door. Oh, Cooley Climbing. Yeah, everyone should go climbing. I've got popcorn there. You're gonna
like Cooley Climbing. They're all good at it.
Yeah, they should. You should buy popcorn there. It funds my climbing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right then. I will. Next time there's a birthday party at Cooley Climbing, I'll make sure that they buy popcorn at Cooley Climbing.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
That seems to be the time they go most is birthday parties.
parties.
What an
Yeah.
easy birthday party. It's like,
Oh,
see ya, drop them off 2 hours later. My hands hurt.
Oh, that place is amazing. Do you climb? Have you gone?
No.
You should come one day.
More of a pool player, golfer kind of guy.
Oh no, you should come. It's a lot of fun.
Mm.
It's cheap too. I can bring you for free. I can bring a one person a month for free.
Oh, nice.
You just
Maybe.
have to rent your shoes for $4.
Shoes. I like to go barefoot climbing.
I climbed. So I was in Medicine Hat for Thanksgiving over the
Made that
weekend.
up. Yeah.
And speaking of barefoot climbing, anyway, I was at my grandparents' house, and my grandparents have like this. It's a massive house. I think it's like 4,800 square feet. It's huge. There's
Right.
like 2 wings for it. It's crazy. Anyway, they have this this chimney that goes all the way up to the 2.5 stories to the peak.
Yeah.
And in the chimney, they have like bits, brick like jetting out every once in a while. And my nephews, they're like, we can climb this. And I was like, oh, okay. So they go out and they're like climbing around on the chimney. I got up about 25 feet without ropes, just climbing straight up. And then I realized I'm pretty high and I don't have shoes on and it's concrete below me. I should
Okay.
probably get down. It was crazy. It was a lot of fun though.
I need to give you some stat that I heard, and I'm gonna find it here. Anyway, I think if you fall 10 feet or more onto concrete, you have a 50-50 chance of living. Just so you know,
Really?
50-50. Yeah. So you are flipping a coin, my friend.
Wow. Yeah, I was up there and I'm like, maybe I should climb down.
Yeah. That's too far.
But it's fun. You just climb.
Yeah.
And there's mats if you fall. You don't fall on concrete at Cooley. You fall on mats.
That's true. Yeah. Could you imagine how dangerous it would be? Just put concrete down.
I actually like when I'm doing a route that I haven't done before.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to pretend that there are no mats there because you're climbing without ropes. So like if you fall, you're gonna fall. So I like to pretend that if I fall, I'm gonna die.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Get your heart
Yeah.
pumping.
Then you're like, can't fall. Yeah. If you fall from 15 meters or more onto concrete, it is a 100% chance of dying.
But that's 15 meters.
That's 49 feet. You were
Yeah, so
halfway there. So let's
yeah.
give you a 50-50 chance of living. Don't do that.
Sure.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I enjoy our thing. All right. Buy popcorn, go climb on and fall on nice soft mats at Cooley.
That's
Climbing.
right. Yeah.
Third
do
Ave,
that.
right? Third Ave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I know exactly where it is. Cool. All right, everyone. If you have any questions, visit us online at viewlethbridge.com. See you next week.
Yeah.